This video is brought to you by Dr. Kristen R. Bromley's Guitar Method Book Series and Online Music Academy.
Hi, I'm Dr. Kristen Bromley. Welcome to my online academy. I'm delighted to be here helping you with playing the guitar. In this video, we're going to continue to work with G, E minor, C, and D, but we're going to start working on alternating our strumming direction. So in previous lessons, previous videos, we've worked on the down strum, working on these 4 chords. Now we're going to work on alternating that strumming direction. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Catching those strings in both directions. It's going to be great. This lesson, this video does accompany lesson 2 from my Chords and Harmony Books 1 and 2 method book. So if you have that book, we're going to be on pages 13 and 14 working on the materials there. Both the exercises, jamming along with the band, and working on this new strumming. So let's go ahead and dive in here with this strumming pattern. As you'll recall, if you've seen previous videos, the strumming technique is like waving. Most of it happens right here at the elbow with the forearm, and there's a little bit of play in the wrist. So just like we're doing a big wave to a friend. We bring that around to the guitar, and we're right here. Now, as we strum the strings, we're using either our thumb, the side of our thumb, or a pick, which is what I really recommend. If you need help with getting started with a pick, there is a video in the introductory materials that can get you going with using a pick. So you want to find that. But the pick is just an extension of the thumb. So we're going to brush the strings in both directions using that waving motion. And I want to tuck those fingers in with my pick, or I can just kind of tuck them in a little bit if I'm doing my thumb. It's important to stay relaxed. Down, up, down, up. As we're doing this, you can just mute the strings lightly with your left hand. Just touch those strings right around the 5th fret, and they won't ring over. You don't have to press down hard, just lightly touch them, and you can practice just doing this rhythmic strumming. So you want to practice going down and up, down and up, down and up, just like that. Just get used to doing that down and up motion. Make sure you're staying relaxed, a little play in the wrist, brushing those strings lightly, either with the pick or with a thumb. Just both directions. And you want it to sound nice and even, so just work on that, and you can hear that with the strings muted. Once you've done that and you're kind of comfortable, it's good to practice it with a chord like the G chord. Just try and get that strumming nice and even, sounding good. Of course, you can practice that with each of the chords, and that's a really good idea. Now, right there, what we're doing is something called even eighth notes. Meaning we're giving the strumming direction both down and up the exact same amount of time. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. In rhythmic terms, we're using even eighth notes or straight eighth notes. Those are the terms that get used to say that we're doing that. A lot of times in music, we'll swing the eighth notes, and what that means is we're going to leave a little bit of a delay after we've done the down strum before we come up. So down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. A lot of our music is going to have some aspect of swing to it, and a lot of our music has that even eighth note feel. So you want to practice both of these. Down, up, 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 down, up. You get used to that, and you take it on over to the chords. Getting those happening nice and even. Okay, so that's the strumming pattern that we're working on. Now, a lot of times we read these, and I'm going to go over just a little bit of what it looks like when it's written out. By introducing that up strum, we've added in eighth notes. So in previous strumming patterns where we've worked the quarter note, we're playing the beat, all down strums on the beat. Now we're doing eighth notes by adding in a subdivision of the beat. So an eighth note cuts the quarter note in half. We're doing 2 eighth notes now for every quarter note that we previously did. Written up here on the board, our strumming pattern looks like this, and you can also see that there on page 13 in the book. So, rhythmic notation, this is 8 eighth notes, which makes up a measure of 4/4 time, which is what we've been playing in, which is what we play in most of the time, though we'll get to other time signatures later on in the lessons. But we're here in 4/4 time. 1 measure of time is our strumming pattern, and you'll recall that as we're playing music, we're going to insert measure per measure. So we'll insert this into each measure of a given song or exercise. So this is 1 measure here. And we've got the eighth notes happening. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. The ones that are counted as a number are on the beat, and the ones that are counted as an and sit in between the beats. So we have subdivided that beat in half. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now that we have up strums, and we're going to be learning a lot of different strumming patterns, and it can help for you perhaps to see them written out visually like this. This is the symbol breakdown here. So this symbol here, when that's above a rhythmic figure, it means that we strum the strings down. And then the V, kind of like a U, means we strum the strings up. So we're going down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Whether we swing the eighth notes or do them as even eighth notes depends on the song and the groove. It's all about the groove, but it will still just be written this way. So there is the strumming pattern. Now we want to start working on this with some exercises, and I've got some. We're going to work on exercises 1 through 5 that are in the book. They're just these nice chord progressions. We're going to work on those with this strumming pattern, so it's going to be great. A couple ways that you can do this as you're working with these exercises. So the exercises are going to be me and the band. You get to jam along with me and the band on numbers 1 through 5, which is on page 14. Each one is going to happen twice. They're going to happen at a slower tempo, 70 beats per minute, and then they're going to happen at a slightly faster tempo, 90 beats per minute. So you get to practice at 2 different tempos. Some of them happen in a more swing style, and some of them happen in a more even eighth note style. 2 of them are more even, and 3 of them are more swung, and the swing can be a little bit different depending on the groove that happens with each one. But this is the way to approach working on those exercises. You can go through them just working on strumming. All you got to do is mute those strings lightly and just strum right along with me with each one of those exercises at the different tempos. Be super fun. You're just jamming and adding a little bit of percussion with the strumming practice to the exercise, to the band. So you get to jam along, add some percussion. Then the other way is to practice those, or the second way is to practice those, and it doesn't matter what order you go in, but is to just practice the chord changes. And so you can practice just making the chord change happen where it happens, however it happens, strumming in your right hand just long chords, or you don't have to worry about strumming at all. You can just sit your hand there and you can just practice trying to make those chords switch when they're supposed to with it within the songs, within the exercises. And then you try putting it together. You try putting that strumming together with the chords. That's the 3 different ways that it works really well to use these exercises jamming along with me and the band. Okay, so it'll be numbers 1 through 5. They're on page 14. Each one will happen first at 70 beats per minute and then again at 90 beats per minute. So you get 2 different tempos for each one. The first 2 are going to happen 4 times in that repeated section before the final chord, which is written there. On the others, they each happen 2 times, and then as a final chord, you just want to play whatever the last chord is you're playing. You just want to play a nice long strum. That's not written in there, but you'll have that. So it's going to be awesome. You'll hear in the bass drum 4 hits to sort of lead us into when we start jamming. So that's how you can find the start of an exercise. You'll hear that boom, 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 like a count off, and we'll be in. So it's going to be great. Again, use these exercises. Just practice the strumming, get nice and comfortable, adding some percussion. Practice your chord changes without worrying about the strumming, and then put the 2 together and try and play these exercises. So it's going to be fun. Let's jam together. All right, super fun. In the next video that goes with lesson 2, we're going to continue to work with G, E minor, C, and D, but we're going to work on another new strumming pattern. It's a really great one. And we're going to jam together, us and the band, on some more exercises. Exercises 6 through 10 from lesson 2. So it's going to be great. Keep at it, keep having fun with this, and I'll see you in more of these videos. Thanks for watching this video. If you found it helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. And be sure to check out more great content. You can find more information about me and my products at kristenbromley.com. Take care.